I'm back! Back in vanilla Minecraft, that is. And I'm also back in my old office. Because you know what? I've missed it. The new one never really stuck with me that much. I mean, seriously, I've been using the same 4 shots on that thing for the last 10 videos. Go back and check, I dare you. But I've been wondering, what's happened to Minecraft recently? Oh god. So, about those sulfur cubes, am I right? Let's mess around with those. So before I begin, I want to take a very brief moment to talk about the Cube itself. Because I majorly hyped these things up back when they were first announced, and despite this, I haven't made a single video on them. And well, that's because of 2 reasons. Number 1, Create Aeronautics released in the same time, and that has consumed my every waking moment. But secondly, I did actually experiment with these back when they were first released, and I kind of had issues. Let me demonstrate. So what I've got here should be pretty obvious, a Newton's cradle, and I want to demonstrate how they don't really conserve momentum correctly. What I have here is 5 sulfur cubes, and they've all been given pale oak wood, giving them the bouncy type, and of course when I break this dirt block, it should launch the one at the end. But it doesn't, because despite them being of all these different characteristics, they still use the default Minecraft mob collisions. And this, of course, is really awkward, as I'll demonstrate today. But this is not to say that the sulfur cubes are completely worthless. I have been able to make some pretty interesting things. So do you guys know those strength testers at the arcade where you have to punch the bag as big as you can and then it measures how strong you are? Well, I've actually managed to make one of these using the sulfur cube. And if I hit this as hard as I can, use all my strength. Yeah! You can see it measures me at a strength of 1. But if I got some assistance using some performance enhancing swords, let's give this a knockback 1, you can see now we're instead measured at a strength 2. But now if I use the knockback 2 sword, this should give us something a bit better. Look, this time we go all the way up to 3. However, if you're willing to cheat the system and just hit it for as much as you can, you might be able to max it out. Hey! Look at that! So if you can work it out, how this works is pretty simple. What I'm basically doing is I'm just measuring how long the sulfur cube is away from this string, and then this just goes on a counter. So if I actually hit it over here, that counter increases by the max amount of time, and then that just runs into a big red coder, which then displays the score on the lamps right there, and then it has a reset signal. Real simple stuff. You know, the fun thing about the sulfur cube is as soon as you put a block in them, they can't die to any physical damage, meaning if you mess up, the only way to get rid of them is to burn them alive, which, you know, I massively approve of. And then you have to burn the babies as well. Thanks, Mojang. So I tried checking the wiki for different things about the sulfur cube to see what sort of things I could make with it, and one thing I noticed is certain hostile mobs will naturally attack sulfur cubes with blocks in them. One of them is a Zoglin. Look at that. He just hates it. He just wants it nothing but pain and suffering. This is really interesting because what you could do is you could give the Zoglin like a little zoo enclosure, and you could give him a sulfur cube as a sort of toy to play around with. But the Zoglin is not the only mob which does this, and that of course is a Vindicator renamed to Johnny, which makes him just the most racist man alive. Like seriously, this guy will attack literally everything in the game, but for our purposes, he will also attack a sulfur cube. Now this is where it gets interesting, because now we have 2 mobs which will attack and fight over the same ball. So that's exactly what I've done. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you football. Over on the yellow side, we have the Vicious Vindicators. And over on the right side, we have 2 Zoglins, also known as the Zoglin Zealots. And they are going to be fighting over this oh my god! Did they score immediately? Absolutely owning them! I didn't even have a chance to introduce the game. Now I have had to surround this thing in a bunch of barriers, but if you're building this at home, you can do glass. I just did barriers so it's easier to see. And it's absolutely brilliant to see them just fight over this ball. Oh, the Zoglins, they edged it in, but it bounced right out. Wait, do they score again? Oh my god, Zoglins! Of course, when the ball actually goes down into the pit, they trigger this string over here, which scores, and then they send it back up to the surface through a water elevator, and that, like, you know, puts the ball back on the pitch. Oh, come on. Come on, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? That's close. That's getting close. And, of course, it's first to 3. Oh, did they get it? Yeah! Woo! Woo! That's score 1 for the Zoglin Zealots. And the redstone glitched, so it scored twice. Ref, is that allowed? Is that allowed, ref? Oh, don't worry. As the administrator and president, I'm just going to forego the rules of the organization, and I'm just going to say that's allowed. One more score. I need this. I need this. No! 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 You idiots! You goddamn fools! Oh God, I didn't do this because I've just thought of it, but you could totally hook up like a betting system, so you could bet diamonds on the team you think is going to win. Oh God, we've gone gambling again. Ladies and gentlemen, I have made a working bowling alley out of the Sulfur Cube. And this thing, oh God, I'm so happy with this. This thing actually fully works. So what I have here is I have a stone sword and we have our ball over here. Now to get it out the ball return, we just hit it and it'll slowly slide out like this. What we can then do is accidentally destroy the arena. What we can then do is hit it and I've had this layer of slime over here. And this is really important because this allows you to align the ball. So now, we can hit it and, oh, we got 3. 3 went down. And here's the cool thing about this thing, right? Is just like a real bowling alley, the pins which were knocked down stay down, but for the second ball, they actually reset themselves into the proper formation, which is really cool. And of course, our ball comes back to us. So we can now take our second shot. If it please comes out the ball return. There we go. Go, 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 go! Oh, we only got 1 more pin. That's a shame. But now, because we've taken our 2 shots, we've knocked down 3 of the 7 total pins. And now, all the pins fully reset for the next bowling frame. Meaning this is a fully functional bowling alley, and it is one of the coolest goddamn things I have ever made. How I'm doing the pin reset is real simple. Each one of these sulfur cubes is leaded to a gold sulfur cube over here, which is in a water chamber. This is pistoned back, turning it into a sulfur elevator, meaning the thing actually goes back up and aligns itself in the glass formation up here. Let's demonstrate this by throwing an item down here. So we can see, yep, all the things go back, water elevator, and they align themselves into the proper formation. Really, really cool. Because we have these trapdoors back here, when we knock down the pins like this, they actually get caught on this trapdoor. So let's knock down a couple, right? So I can demonstrate this. So when we actually do the reset for when the ball goes down, these ones will get stuck on the trapdoor. So we pull all of them up, but these get trapped, meaning we only realign the ones which did not get knocked down. And of course, when we want to do a full reset after the second ball, what we can then do is just flip these trapdoors so they all get yanked up, and then they will reset themselves properly for the next frame. And I actually did this thing. I designed the entire thing so the redstone is really thin. So if I grab this entire lane back here, you'll notice that I'm able to copy and paste this entire thing side by side to one another, and none of the redstone actually interacts, meaning you can have 2 lanes next to each other. I mean, hell, you can have an entire bowling alley of lanes next to each other which are fully functional. Now, of course, the one issue with this bowling minigame, as I mentioned earlier, because momentum and intercube collisions aren't properly calculated, it does mean that, honestly, it's next to impossible to actually knock these down in a spare, let alone a strike. But as it stands, if you do keep score, this is a legitimate, pretty cool minigame. But of course, the most important thing about this update is after a literal year, my ice hockey is finally functional. and it's fun to play. At last. Thank you, Mojang. Wait, do you not bounce off the slime? Huh? No. You did not just do this to me, Mojang. This can't be happening. You can't be doing this to me. You don't. Does it still not work? Does it?